throw the whole boy away. Throw him away. Throw him away. I don't want to cry. I really just said I don't want to cry on the internet. Stop it. Stop. Oh, jeez Louise. Hi guys, welcome back. If it's your first time, my name is Talia Adewale. This is DISBYDEM. We're doing episode 7 of my siblings romance today. Do all the right things and let's just hop on into it. Yeah, I'm a little wonky today. I've been up since 3 a.m. and it's starting to take a toll. But it's fine. It's fine. We're going to be doing a recap review, sort of, just chit chat, because I'm trying to catch up. And honestly, with every single day, it is harder for the internet not to spoil this for me. I have avoided TikTok for a week now. No, actually 2 weeks. I've avoided anything that has to do, even when I'm editing, when I'm doing my thumbnails, like I get glimpses of potential spoilers and it's just driving me nuts. So I'm going to be doing reviews for a bit and then I'll catch up and maybe do reactions from maybe like the last 4 episodes, you know, when it really gets into the thick of things. Or we'll play it by ear. If I think that things are, you know, getting dicey, I might hop on here and do a reaction. But for now, I'm going to be doing reviews. And I'm so happy that I decided to do a review for this episode because even though a reaction would have been good, honestly, I'm tired of crying on the internet. This episode had the This episode had the sibling reveal, and that was an emotional roller coaster. But yeah, that's just my dog. You'll hear it. You've probably heard it before. But yeah, let's hop on into it. So the episode starts obviously with the room assignments because they're still in Yoonjae's restaurant, right? Yes, and they're, you know, showing us the room assignments. There's 3 rooms. There's the double, the quadruple, and then the triple. So the double room has Jungsub and Choa, which we'll get to it. Triple has Jaehyun, Yoonha, and Juyeon. I keep wanting to say Yujeon every single time. And then the quadruple room has Youngwoo, Saesung, Jiwon, and Chohyun. Jungsub is still in his feelings about Choa not texting him. And that car ride was, say it with me, for awkward. It was icy in that car. But only from his side. Did anybody else think that Choa is just like oblivious and is just living her best life? Because I didn't get any like intentional malice coming off her. She literally was tipsy from, you know, drinking from the game that they played at the restaurant to falling asleep in the car. Not even... Like, I think she said she clued in that maybe he was uncomfortable, probably because he didn't get the text. But it's almost like she doesn't even have the ability to be stressed about it, if you get what I mean. Like, there was no malice. It was just her being her. I love Choa. I really do love Choa. And if it doesn't end up well for her, which I've been getting hints that it might not go the way that I'm expecting it to go, I'm going to be pissed. I will be pissed off. I'm not even kidding you. Because I really like Choa as of episode 7. I'm not really sure how, you know, Jekyll and Hyde situations will come up as the episodes go on. But for now, I really like her. Anywho, Jungsub is all in his feelings. And I did feel bad for him when he didn't get the text. I did. Why did I feel bad? Because it's a sad thing. Like, he obviously put all his intention into the bloody date, you know, trying to please this woman, and he couldn't even get a text back. But it's like, think about it, Jungsub. This is exactly how Saesung is feeling as well. Not to the same degree, because you always text her, but to the degree where the affection that she's giving you is not necessarily reciprocated 100%. Like, who agrees? Who understands what I'm trying to say? Anyhow, he's being an immature child about it. The whole episode, he was being an immature child right to the end. And we'll get to it. And because I'm still on the fence with Jungsub, I don't know. I'm still on the fence with him. I don't know if things will change. But the way I'm seeing him right now, the jealousy, the insecurities, possessiveness, not qualities that I want in a man. you know. So he's kind of like not my cup of tea at this point in time. So he's up in his feelings. He wants to talk about stuff, right? But he doesn't really know how to bring it up. Every time he tries to bring it up, something happens. Either she's falling asleep, he keeps checking on her, but she's tipsy, so she's out like the light. Or when he brings it up, there's some kind of distraction. Then they switch over and we see the quadruple room with Youngwoo, Saesung, Chohyun, and Ji-won. All the rooms were completely separated, so they weren't even neighbors or anything. They were completely away from each other, so they couldn't even interact. Your group was your group, and that's who you were with for the night. Chohyun and Youngwoo, I don't know what, get to work asking Ji-won questions about herself. It was mostly Chohyun who was leading the questioning session, and then Youngwoo will, interject there. If you've noticed, Youngwoo is not a very proactive person. Anybody else clock that? I said it in my last review, or in episode 4 review rant. It was more a rant than anything. I said it in that one. But Youngwoo is not a very interactive, like he does not he's not proactive. He will hang on to what people are doing and ride that coattail and get information, but asking the deep questions by himself, he hasn't really been doing that. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's just watch and see. Anyhow, they're getting to know Ji-won. Chol-hoo leaves. I think he went out for a smoke. He said he wanted fresh air, but I feel like it's a smoke that he went out for. And the way Youngwoo was laying down behind Ji-won, I was like, oh, he was very cozy. And honestly, my stomach dropped to my ass. I was like, oh, I do not have a good feeling about this. He's very chummy cozy around Ji-won. Choa, where you at, girl? Where you at? I'm working overtime here to get you this man. Where are you? A shout out to the people who are leaving comments and interacting on these videos. Honestly, it is my favorite thing to read those comments and read those highlights. A lot of you are coming in with information and I am so grateful. Shout out to Hannah Kimin 2922 for letting me know. I think it was you who let me know about, the schedule conflicts and the fact that Chohyun and Choa were not necessarily going to be the first group. They were, but then a pair of siblings fell out or something like that, so they had to come in with the original housemates, and that's why Choa was still working, because her schedule was fixed. Like, you just brought the information. Shout out to Real Name Hidden as well, who's also, been hitting me with the teasers and been prepping me for the eventualities that's happening. Shout out to AH86AC, always commenting. You guys have been the real ones, and I'm really grateful for all the comments, all the information, and the interaction. Thank you so much. Moving back, so yeah, the way that Youngwoo was chilling, it was a little bit too cozy for me, but it is what it is. If the guy finds love in a hopeless place, not really hopeless, I guess. I was singing the song in my head. That's why I said that. If he finds love in a different place, as long as he's happy, is what I have decided that I will go with. And as long as Choa finds love somewhere and she's happy, is what I have decided that I will stick with. Chohyun gets back and continues talking with Ji-won. He seemed very interested in her. I'm not gonna lie. Like, this is the most interest that I've seen him express in anybody. However, this is also the most time that I've seen him interact with one single person. I'm not sure that she feels the same. I think she does have like an admiration and respect for him, but that's pretty much it. I couldn't really get a read on Ji-won here, and I think it's because she wasn't feeling it with him, at least not yet. Moving on to the trifecta room, which is Jaehyun, Yoonha, and Yujeon. Three of them dishing, just like gossiping about how uncomfortable the double room would be, was my favorite thing of this episode. I'm not gonna lie. Just the three of them gossiping and walking towards their own house. It was the bee's knees. I loved it very much. They didn't really stick to them for anything. I feel like they went to bed and that was it, because they didn't show us any clips from their own house. Cut back to Junsub and Choa. They've arrived at their house. She's very tired, they check out their lodgings and everything. There's 2 rooms, which I thought was nice, because I thought maybe they would only have 1 room, which would have been extremely uncomfortable. Junsub wants to talk. Choa is basically tipsy and wants to sleep. Choa actually said that she had a great time with Junsob in her one-on-one interview, and she wrote down in the guest book, you know, how grateful she was for the date and all the things that he did for her. So this really solidified the fact to me that Choa was not being malicious in not, you know, engaging with Junsob in the car. She was just tired. Well, she actually really liked the date, and I think because like she's so pure spirited, like she just expresses herself the way she feels, and I feel like her heart is truly still with Young Woo, and she doesn't necessarily see Jung Sub as that figure that she is looking for in a man. Because if you remember, Choa says she's looking for somebody that she can depend on. Having had like only, I think having to only depend on herself for so long before, while her mom was sick and even after her mom died, depending on herself and her brother alone, but mostly herself as the eldest, it's only fair that she finds somebody that she can pass the baton to. When you think about the qualities that she's looking for in a guy, Junsop does not fill those shoes. I'm sorry, but he seems like the one that will be depending on her. Especially when you think about his dynamic with his sister, which is one of my favorite things about Junsop. The way he loves his sister is one of my all-time favorite things about Junsop. Beyond that, I can't really name anything else. But if you think about that dynamic and how he's so chummy and every time he sees his sister, he's like, oh, I miss you, Yoonha. Like the way he acts with his sister, I feel like that's how he is in a relationship. And as much as that might be somebody's kink, it ain't mine. I'm not gonna be raising children and my husband at the same time. Anybody got time for that? But there are people that like that. They like being dependent on, you know. So he just needs to find somebody that will do that for him. So she wrote all of that in the book, and then she basically tells him that she's tired and that she wants to go to bed. That if they can talk in the morning before they meet up with everybody else. He says okay, and they all go to bed. Next morning, they have double dates. So Young Woo, Saesung, Chohyun, and Jiwon, one group. And then Jungsub, Choa, Jaehyun, sorry, I used initials, so I have to think. Jaehyun, Yoonha, and Juyeon are the second group. Juyeon's group, when they were going to meet up with Jungsub and Choa, Juyeon was able to get shotgun this time, so she could ride in the front with Jaehyun. Now, I really do like the potential of that couple, Jaehyun and Juyeon. However, Jaehyun is still undecided. And for me, that was an indicator in this episode. If you don't know, then the answer is probably no. Because when you're certain, you're certain. Especially when there's interest, you know. Like, you want to be around that person. You crave that person. But if you're uncertain, then it means that it's not 100%. However, I was still holding out to hope by the end of this episode. So just leave me alone with my hope. Okay? I need the hope. Just leave it for me. Junsub, who wanted to talk in the morning, couldn't get up. He was snoozing his alarm right up until 11 o'clock, and they were leaving at 11:30. So I'm guessing that he probably was worried because he was so worried about this whole thing. He could not sit still. It was almost like he had pins and needles in his butt. He was questioning himself whether he did something wrong. Why didn't she text him? Oh, woe is me. It is one night, one freaking text. The way he was agonizing. I really do not want to be in a relationship with somebody like this, because if he can be so upset about one freaking text one night and then not even have the cojones to bring it up and talk to her properly about it and be like, you know what, it really bugged me. How come you didn't text me today? If it sounds desperate, it's because it is. But if you're going to be desperate, stand on your 10 toes and ooze desperation. Let us know what we're doing, you know? Like, the wishy-washy is just not working for me, and I don't like it. Ugh.
Brother,
The other group, which is Juwon's group, also they start getting ready, and they're all ready. They go out to the beach, take a walk. You know, they hang out a little bit just before their own date. Their date ended up being bungee jumping, and initially, Youngwoo and Chohyun sign up and do their jumps, and then Saesung and the two girls are like, no, they're not doing it. But Saesung eventually decides that it's a once in a lifetime opportunity, and when next is she gonna bungee jump, so she does it, and I was so proud of her. I really like her. Saesung gives me crazy eyes, but like, I really like her. When I say crazy eyes, it's only when it comes to Jungsook, honestly, because she's so deep in that sunken place. I'm not even sure you can revive her out of it. But I like her. I like the way her mind works, and I like the way she tackles things. I also like her personality, how bubbly she is. Plus, her brother is Jaehyung, who is just adorable, and honestly, my favorite male in the house. So something had to have rubbed off on her, right? I really do like her. So I was very, very, very proud of her when she decided to do the bungee jump. I thought that it was spectacular and I really applauded her for it. Choa's group's date was zip lining. They all had a wonderful time. They did the zip lining. They don't really show us anything in between, but they all get a text to head on to this particular location. It was kind of like a cafe restaurant, and all the groups came together. G1 drove the crew back this time. In the beginning, when they were driving to their location the night before, Youngwoo drove. But G1 drove this time. Everybody else fell asleep except for Cholhoon, who stayed up talking to her. So here you could tell that he was actually really interested. She not as much. I don't think she is interested because at first I thought G1 was stoic and didn't really show her emotions or anything. But during the sibling reveals, she actually cried and I was like, oh, there she is. There she is. That's the real person. That is the real girl. Not that crying makes her a person. It was the show of emotion, which I hadn't necessarily seen up until that moment. And that honestly, that moment, we love a G1 on this channel, but that moment was when I fell in love with G1. So G1 is top now. I think, for now, it's still Choa, then G1. For now. It's still Choa than G1. So, but let's see how the rest of the season goes. So everybody is back together. They're chit-chatting back and forth. And then all of a sudden the lights go out and a projection screen comes down. At first I thought it was the age reveal and I was so happy. But it turns out that it was the sibling reveal. Now they do kind of reveal ages in some of the pictures. Like they did put years when they were born. But it was not like an outright age reveal. So I'm hoping that we get that soon. Because I want to know how old these people are. Some of them are behaving like children and I want to know how big their ages are, I can't remember who was revealed first, but Youngwoo's reveal, Youngwoo and Jungwon's reveal had everybody in tears just because of, their life, their backstory, and how, strong Youngwoo had to be growing up, how strong he had to be for his sister. Like the whole story had a lot of people in tears. Jiwon didn't cry, but you could see the emotion in her face. You could feel it and you could feel the empathy from people about that scenario. Jaehyung burst out crying when they did his reveal. That was a surprise for me. We've never seen him cry on this show, not even once. And then they explained his backstory about how he was so sickly and his mom took care of him. And I think here was the regret of not appreciating his mom enough or being hard on his mom. He does say that a little bit, and I get it. Guys, I was crying. Everybody was crying. God, I was a slobby mess during this whole reveal. Like the whole reveal was so emotional. Honestly, it was a lot. Choa and Cholhyun's story had everybody in tears again. Cholhyun was crying when they brought up his mother. I was dying when they brought up his mother. Like it was just so emotional, and I was so happy that I didn't do the reaction for this thing. Honestly, because I don't want to have to be crying on the internet anymore. You guys already know that I have empathy. I have emotions. I don't want to be crying on the internet anymore. But this show is amazing. I really love it. And I'm so grateful that you guys recommended the show to me. This one, I think, had G1 crying too. I think the whole story, about their mom being sick and how they had to be strong and everything. I think this one had G1 crying as well. Of course, G1's sibling reveal was last. We had Yoonjae upstairs while they were doing everything, revealing all the story. Yoonjae was sweating balls upstairs because he was just getting more anxious and anxious, waiting for his turn to reveal himself. But of course, theirs was last. And turns out that G1 is a prodigy. genius. Basically, she learned piano at what, 4 or 5 or whatever age that she had learned it, got tired of it, and then decided that she wanted to go school abroad when she was 12, and not like they were from a rich family. So her mom basically had to rob Peter to pay Paul. When we say that in Nigeria is when you rob the electrician to play the plumber, basically. So you don't pay the electrician for now, you pay the plumber, and then when the plumber's money comes in, you pay the electrician. So that's basically what we mean when we say you rob Peter to pay Paul. I don't know if that expression is used anywhere else, but we used it a lot in Nigeria. So she would take out a loan, to pay their tuition fees because they were studying in Canada. It started out with G1, and then Yoonjae followed suit as well. So she would take out a loan and then work hard, make all the side dishes in the restaurant by herself in order to make up that money and save that money and pay back the loan. And that's what she did for 10 years. Honestly, we do not appreciate our parents enough. We don't. And if your parents are alive, honestly, depending on the kind of relationship that you had, if they were good to you, appreciate them. Call them up and say you love them. Honestly, I would give my left arm to be able to talk to my mom again, just to tell her how grateful I am for everything that she did for me. I don't want to cry. I really just said I don't want to cry on the internet. Stop it. Stop. Oh, geez Louise. It was really heartfelt. Jiwon's mom also had cancer. A lot of moms in this had cancer. I think Sesong's mom had cancer. She's clear now, which is nice. Jiwon's mom also had cancer. They didn't clarify if she was clear or not. I think she was. She has a clean bill of health right now, which is nice. Choa's mom died from cancer. So a lot of moms had cancer in this, and it was really sad. Jiwon's mom is very talkative. She did the entire interview. The dad just sat there and was like, And between the two of them, Jiwon looks like her dad and Yoonjae looks like his mom. I really liked it. The entire reveal was very heartfelt. I love Jiwon's story. I love the mom's story. While her mom was crying, was telling the story, Jiwon started crying because her mom felt really sad that, she provided tuition for them to go to school, but she was never really in her daughter's life. And she doesn't really know a lot of intimate moments because her daughter went to school abroad when she was 12, for 10 years. So all the pivotal moments of a young woman's life growing up, her mom was never there for it and never experienced that with her. And so she felt bad about that, and she felt really sad about that. Jiwon expressed that her mom doesn't even fly because she's scared of heights, or not really scared of heights, she's just comfortable where she is. Maybe she was scared of heights, but Jiwon also said that it is possible that her mom doesn't know how to have fun because she was never taught how to have fun. And that broke me. It was an emotional reveal. It really was. But at the end of it, they did introduce Yoonjae. He came down, he said hi to everybody. He was so shy. But we now have a complete group. So we have 5 girls and 5 boys, which is kind of nice. So everything is equal. A letter arrived. The parents had, it was a letter for basically the girls to choose dates for their brothers. So the parents had chosen songs and put the songs on cards with the names of the female contestants. And then each woman would have to choose a name and a song for their brother. So they did rock, paper, scissors in order to decide the order of, picking dates. So the first person was Jiwon, second was Yoonha, third was Juyeon, fourth was Choa, and fifth was Sesong. Jiwon picked Yoonha for Yoonjae. She said that Yoonha was his type in terms of looks, and that was the exact thing, not the exact thing, but her mom also said that Yoonha was the type that she would like for a daughter-in-law. So it was kind of crazy. Yoonjae also picked Yoonha as his choice. So it was kind of crazy that all of them picked the same person as the choice for him to date. I thought that it was nice. I thought that it almost felt like it was fate. I'm not really sure how that will end up, but we'll just wait and see. Yoonha picked Sesong for Jungsup because she knew that he didn't get a text from Choa the night before, and she said that he deserved to have a date where he would have fun. Juyeon picked Choa for Youngwoo because obviously she knows that he has interest in Choa. Choa picked Ji-won for Chol-hyun because she noticed that he liked her or he had an interest in her. And then Sae-sung picked Ju-yeon for Jaehyung. I guess that was the last pick anyways, because Sae-sung was last to pick. Another letter then arrived announcing who Young-jae had picked in his previous choice at the restaurant for his date. So he will be going on 2 dates with whoever his sister picked and whoever he picked. Turns out that the person that he picked was Yoonha. So she was picked twice by not only him, but by the sister and the mother. She basically has the family's permission, blessing at this point. So they can get married and get into the sunset if they choose. Obviously, that's not what happened. It's time for day 9 messages. Juyeon texted Jaehyung and Jaehyung texted her back, which is nice. Sae-sung texted Jun-sub and Jun-sub texted Sae-sung back. The new update, because everybody knows who everybody's brother and sister is now, is that when the siblings get the text telling them that their sibling was chosen, they include the name of the person who chose their sibling. So it kind of takes it to a whole new dynamic entirely. Jung-sub said that since he was matched with her for his date the next day, that is the reason why he texted her. And I'm like, you know what? It's fine. It's not official yet. Nobody has asked anybody out yet. So let's just keep watching. Because I can't keep doing the hate on Jun-sub bandwagon. And I don't want to hate him. I just really don't like the decision-making process that he has adopted on this show. Choa texted Youngwoo, Youngwoo texted Choa back. Ji-won texted Chol-hyun, Chol-hyun texted Ji-won back. Young-jae texted Yoonha, and Yoonha texted him back. Now, Yoonha only wrote, "Welcome to the show." So he didn't really know who had texted him. But I'm guessing that he and Ji-won will have a conversation later and she can confirm that it was from Yoonha and he would feel better about it. Because I swear, I think he felt like maybe the producers were the ones that sent him that text. But considering he got a text on his first day in the house, maybe first hour safe with the group, that was very impressive. And this was where Ji-won was starting to shine. I think as soon as her brother came in, though, it kind of eased the tension for her because she was so expressive after that. She was so happy. She said she was excited for him. She was really happy that he got a text. I don't know. She just drew me in and I fell in love with this woman. Hook, line, and sinker. Take me away, Ji-won. Take me away. And she's so goddamn beautiful too. It's impressive. I have to say, it is absolutely impressive how stunning she is. At the end of the night, like a crybaby, Jung-sub went to Chol-hyun and was now complaining about the night before, about how he didn't get a text from Choa. And like this subservient person that he is, maybe that's not, I don't know, I was so pissed off. But it was such a stupid move. Is this what you can expect in your relationship? Every time my husband pisses me off, I don't run to his sister complaining. Well, we don't really have that kind of relationship. But even if we did, I wouldn't do that. So the fact that Jung-sub was running to Chol-hyun to complain really, really pissed me off. And I was like, grow a freaking backbone, man. Like, you do not have to do that every single time something happens. And you're not even dating this woman yet. But like the mumu that Chol-hyun is, not really, but really, he goes and he talks to Choa about the whole situation. While he was talking to Chol-hyun, he said he was really sad that someone he liked the most did not reciprocate his feelings. And I was like, poor Sae-sung. Like, seriously, if you know that Choa is where your heart is, what are you keeping Sae-sung on the ropes for? Now, Sae-sung will stay on the ropes whether you cut it or not. She's going to use her own gravitational force to hang on to Jung-sub. That's what I feel. She's going to hang on to this man until somebody physically tears her away from him. And I hope that somebody does, because he's not, As of episode 7, he is not my choice for anybody in this house. I think he has some maturing to do. But then Chol-hyun goes and tells Choa. He says says all these nice things about, Jung-sub and how maybe she needs to reconsider or whatever. And for me, if I was in Choa's shoes, not if I was in Choa's shoes, for me, if this was happening to me, that would be a complete turn off for me. Because why would you run to my brother to be complaining about me and then my brother comes to tell me about how you're in your feels about it? Be a man. Come and meet me by yourself. Because that is foreshadowing into the kind of future that I would have with you. And I don't respect that. That is why I don't respect Jung-sub as of episode 7. I know things may change. I know producers are producing here. So if things change and he impresses me later on, fine. If he doesn't impress me later on, fine, because it doesn't really affect my life or his life either way. But right now, not even boyfriend material. I think he has some growing up to do, which is why I'm very curious about their ages. I need to know what their ages are so that I can understand their mindset. Because if he is like 30 and he's still behaving like this, throw the whole boy away. Throw him away. Throw him away. Honestly. But yeah, I'm excited to see episode 8 because our girl Yunha is finally getting her day in the sun. Honestly, I really hope things work out well with her and Yoonjae because she deserves it. I think she's a very, very personable person. I think she's bubbly. I think she's witty. I think she's funny too. And we have not even scratched the surface of her personality on this show because there's been nobody for her on the show. So I'm really excited to see how that pans out. I'm hoping that it pans out well. But yeah, no, loving it. So I'm going to see you guys in episode 8 again. Might be a review reaction, might just be a review. I don't know that I want to do a reaction for it. I don't know that I have the mental power. Plus, I'm trying to catch up because I think the episodes... I think this week, as when I'm recording this, I think episode 15 is dropping this week. So next week would be the last episode. So I'm trying to catch up, guys. I need to finish this before people ruin it for me on the internet. But yeah, be sure to leave those comments in the comment section. You know I love engaging with you guys. Do all the right things. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!